This video is part 3 in our series of videos that are covering factoring polynomials. So this next example we're going to take a look at is number 22 out of the textbook, and it's 6x squared minus 5xy minus 6y squared. So we have this polynomial. It's actually a trinomial that has two variables taking place in this problem, which is okay. So to start this, we're just going to think of this as, again, a trinomial that is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c, and use that to help us guide our thinking for organizing our work using this x method. So 6 times negative 6 is going to be negative 36. So this, again, is using that AC method. So we're going to ask ourselves, what's going to multiply to negative 36, but then add to give us this middle term, negative 5. So that combination, one of them has to be positive, one has to be negative, and then that combination, those two numbers, are going to be 4, and then this would be a negative 9, because 4 times negative 9 is going to give us negative 36, and then adding that combination, we're going to get negative 5. So this tells us what to split this into so that we can do factor by grouping. So this is going to be 6x squared minus, not minus 5xy, we can do this as minus 9xy, and then we'll do plus 4xy minus 6y squared, because again, we're trying to rewrite this middle term as those two numbers there. So now we can go ahead and group these together. Now, if I had wrote this as 4xy first and then the minus 9xy, you would still be able to continue to do this factor by grouping. It's going to work either way. So grouping this together, we have the 6x squared minus 9xy, and those two, the GCF of that would be 3x. So now we're going to have 3x, and then inside we'll have 2x minus 3y. And the goal now is that if we factor something out of here, we should still end up with this 2x minus 3y. So we'll have plus, and then the GCF of these are actually going to be 2y. And so then we're going to have, in parentheses, this would be 2x minus 3y. And so now we can factor out this 2x minus 3y from both of these terms, and we'll have 3x plus 2y left. And that would be our factored polynomial. For question 24, we have, again, something that looks like we're going to end up using factoring by grouping. So to start this, you could actually go through and factor everything out by a negative 1 so that you didn't have this negative 6 out front, but you don't really need to do that. So with this, I would just go ahead and group together what it is that you plan on factoring. Now, if we group as is, we're not going to really be able to factor anything out from here. So what I would do is I would rearrange this so that we have this in a little bit different of an order. So if we rewrite this as negative 6b squared minus 2b plus the 3ab plus a, then we have a little bit more that we can work with and factor out from each of our groups. So we'll go ahead and group it as shown here. So out of this first group, we can factor out a negative 2b. So this is going to be equal to negative 2b. And then this would be 3b plus 1 left inside of those parentheses. And then here, we can factor out an a. And then we'd have 3b plus 1 left after we factor out an a from this group, which is great because now we have this 3b plus 1, the same binomial. So the 3b plus 1, we can write out front. And then leaving it in the order as it is, it would be negative 2b plus a. But we can go ahead and just take the time to rewrite this so that it says 3b plus 1, and then a minus 2b would be a better way of writing it. However, if you did leave your answer as this, that would be acceptable. The last example that we're going to take a look at is this binomial 1 minus a to the fourth. So there's only two terms in this polynomial. So that's telling us that we're probably going to end up using the difference of two squares rule. So taking a look at this 1 minus a to the fourth, we can rewrite this as 1 squared minus a squared squared. So now we can see our a and our b values, right? So this is our a and this is our b value. So this is going to be equal to, and this is going to be 1 plus a squared times 1 minus a squared. But we're actually not done here because we actually still have a difference of 2 squares. So we can go ahead and we'll still have this 1 plus a squared out front. There's nothing more we can do with that. But this we can again think of it as 1 squared minus, again, a squared, where this is our a and this is our b value. So this is going to turn into 1 plus a squared, and then this is going to factor into 1 plus a times 1 minus a. And then that's as far as we can go with this question, and now that polynomial has been factored completely.